We have some more seats if anybody wants to sit down, but welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm San Francisco Mayor London Breed, and I'm really excited to be here to swear in the next controller of the City and County of San Francisco. Take a moment to really appreciate, we have so many of our department head leaders who are here, as well as members of the Board of Supervisors, including Matt Dorsey and Aaron Peskin. Thank you so much for being here. Our Treasurer, Jose Cisneros, our City Administrator, Carmen Chu, our City Attorney, David Chu, and last but not least, because like I said, we got, I always forget about you, Joaquin Torres. And I appreciate our assessor being here as well as many of our department heads. And also I want to take a moment to really appreciate and recognize Ben Rosenfield for his over 20 years of service to the City and County of San Francisco. Ben is like, I'm out of here before one more gray hair appears on my head. But thank you so much for your commitment, for your service, and really making the Controller's Office of San Francisco a model for the rest of the world. Thank you so much. And I just want to say, because I know we also have so many members of the Controller's Office here today, and they seem really excited. And you would think with all the excitement from this office that I would be swearing in a celebrity of some sorts, but the fact is that's not the case. In fact, that's far from it. Because most people in the public eye, they know who all the elected leaders are, but they're like, who is this? First they're like, who is this Ben Rosenfield? And now they're like, who is this Greg Wagner guy? And we're hoping that they never really know who you are, because that's the job. The job centers around making sure that this office is not politicized. It centers around making sure that during the very difficult times, we can continue to keep the city moving. We can continue to make sure that we're meeting payroll, that we're putting aside money during the good times because we know that the bad times potentially are coming. That we're being responsible stewards of the city's resources so that we can ensure the fiscal integrity of our city when decisions are being made. That's why this office is very important, and that's why we want to make sure it stays hidden. So here comes Greg Wagner, and now he's being put in the forefront of what we know is going to be a very difficult time for the city, but this is not foreign territory to him. Because Greg worked for mayors in the past, former Mayor Gavin Newsom and former Mayor Ed Lee, during some very difficult times in our budget history as well. And when we had some difficult times in the Department of Public Health, he led the department and helped us transition into hiring a new director, but not losing sight of the work that we needed to do to ensure our 2 hospitals and our staff and our complete infrastructure from the Department of Public Health was well taken care of. It's a lot of work to manage all the technical details, and when there is a problem, you hear about it. But in every instance, in every role that Greg has taken on, you have not heard about any problems or any issues because of how he has led his teams to meet the challenges and to deliver the results necessary to keep the Department of Public Health moving, to keep our city moving when he worked for mayors, and to continue to do the extraordinary work necessary to now lead the Controller's Office. It is a great department, it is a great city, and it needs a great leader behind the scenes doing the difficult work to make the hard decisions. Because believe it or not, if the Controller's Office didn't put away the money necessary when we're dealing with lawsuits or uncertainty around ballot measures or questions or issues, trust me, the Board of Supervisors would have already spent it. You didn't think that was funny, Supervisor Peskin? Because you know they would have spent it. And thank goodness for capable, responsible leaders like Greg Wagner. And in fact, since I'm swearing Greg in on leap year today, that means you're going to probably be here for 40 years. Because technically, under the law, the 29th, you would have to wait 4 years before your first anniversary. I mean, you can argue that. I think David Chu would agree. You can argue that point. Not sure he's going to want to stay here for 40 years, but technically you might be able to. And with that, I want to take this opportunity to swear in the next controller for the City and County of San Francisco.
All right. Oh, I'm up here. All right.
No, I'm swear you in.
All right.
But
good.
we want them to hear you take the oath.
Oh, I understand.
Okay?
Thank
There's
you.
no backing down.
40 years.
Okay, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Greg Wagner,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I bear true faith
that I bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
that I take this obligation
that I take this obligation
freely without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter,
about which I am about to enter,
and during such time
and during such time
as I serve as
Controller
for the City and County of San Francisco.
for the City and County of San Francisco.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Mayor Breed, thank you so much. It was such an honor to be appointed by you to this role, and it's a joy to have you be the one to swear me in today. Thank you for everything. President Peskin, members of the Board of Supervisors, thank you for approving that nomination. It's an honor to have you here. To both Mayor Breed and the Board of Supervisors, you have my commitment to be a partner to move the city forward. To the team in the Controller's office, I know there are a lot of you here. I can't wait to get to work with you on the important work that you do. Mayor Breed said it so well. We have a lot to do. You've been giving me such a warm welcome during this transition period. Your mission is important to the city, and I'm ready to get to work. I look forward to it. A lot of faces of my closest colleagues and friends here today. It's great to have you here with us. We've had a lot of conversations about what the role of the controller is, both in the short term and also importantly as a steward for the long-term interests of the city of San Francisco. And that resonates with me. I've got a long-term view of this city. I love this city. I'm optimistic about our city's future. My wife Gina and I are raising a family here in the city. You see a couple of unusually well-dressed young San Franciscans up front. And that makes you think about the future of the city. There's a lot to do, but a few things. We, of course, as Mayor Breed said, we need to be a model for a financially healthy and sustainable city government. And we want other cities to look to us as an example. And that's the foundation of a well-functioning, responsive public sector. We need an economy that is going to serve the people and the businesses and provide revenues to the city government to maintain our services in this post-COVID era. Every city in this country is going through an economic change. There's a lot of work to adapt. but we need to support that work and push forward on business tax reform, working with Treasurer Cisneros. That work is moving forward, and with Assessor Torres on the changing real estate economy. We need to make sure that ethics, integrity, and accountability is a universal value in our city government among city employees and all of our partners. We're going to continue to work with City Attorney David Chu on the Public Integrity Project into the next phase so that San Franciscans know that everything that their city does is about the public good. And then, of course, we've got a lot of work to do in the controller's role of using data and management analysis to work with our fellow departments on the key issues like public safety, homelessness and behavioral health, conditions on our streets, so much more. We want to be a partner and support to make sure that our city has measurable results and delivers on every dollar it spends. So a couple of really quick thank yous. Ben's looking at me sheepishly. I know you're tired of us thanking you, Ben, but it's almost over. So I'm going to get one last one in. I've worked with Ben for many, many years. Ben, you really have left a legacy for the city. I've learned so much about this job and being a public servant from watching you. Please keep your ringer on. I'm going to be calling you my friend. And then I lastly just want to thank Dr. Grant Colfax and the team from the Department of Public Health who's out here in force, which I appreciate. You are the most incredible, dedicated, mission-driven, creative, persistent group of public servants that I could ever want to work with. It has been a true pleasure these last 12 years being your colleague. So I'm going to leave it at that. Please come say hi, celebrate a little bit tonight with this fantastic group of people, and then we're going to get straight back to work for San Francisco. So thank you for being here.
If anybody decides to celebrate tonight leaving the office, make sure the time is not on your timesheet. But again, congratulations, Greg, and thank you so much, Ben, and all of you for being here with us today. We're really excited about what we need to do. We got some hard choices to make. Many of the department heads are here because they think that you might be nicer to them in the choices that need to be made around their budget, but there is no favorites in the room, even though we have favorites, don't we? They're all our favorites, right? And thank you all so much for being here today. And at this time, we'll take a few pictures, and we appreciate you all. So thank you and congratulations.
Yeah, he's taking a picture. Come on.